Hey everyone, welcome back and welcome to another reading Cancer. This is going to be your reading for June 2021. It's great to see you guys again. Alright, let's take a look at your cards for June. So the overall energy for you, Cancer, we have the World. So this is pretty major. This is the last card in the major arcana, which suggests completion, a sense of fulfillment washing over you, and I think that you are pretty content in June. And this could also suggest a desperately needed new beginning. I think that there could be an issue that you're just putting down. You know, those problems that are just not really worth your energy or not really worth your time. Two of Swords and the Three of Cups. I think that your focus right now, if we can even really call it that, is on the things that make you feel good. So I think that this can go one of two ways. Either there is an actual cause for celebration in June, or you're chasing these good feelings that you have in an effort to distract yourself from some pretty pressing matters. There could be a trip that maybe you're trying to make up your mind about whether or not you want to take. There could be someone or a group of people that are getting on your nerves, and you could be trying to decide whether or not to bring that to their attention. There could be apprehension, hesitation, because you feel what is required of you is that you be vulnerable, that you risk upsetting the base, that you risk creating an even bigger problem in listing your grievances. And what I want to say before we continue is there is a pattern in empath narcissistic relationships, or in codependent relationships at least, where in which you feel incapable of bringing something to someone's attention out of fear of the way that they are going to react. I read recently that in most cases where there is a narcissist involved, there is also quite a bit of aggression in that person as well. So if you find yourself dealing with an aggressive individual, you may feel that communicating with them is risky business, that it will be challenging to convey that information to them because you can't control how they're going to react. Emphasis on the react. You may be thinking that this person is going to blow things out of proportion and misrepresent your intentions. Now, the World card as the overall energy is a positive sign. This is telling me that you are most definitely, you have the power to do this. So it just takes being brave enough, getting out of your own way, and allowing yourself to get some of the things off of your chest that have been on your chest. When we look at the Ten of Wands, you know, this is a lot to deal with. But what I think that often gets left out when we talk about the Ten of Wands is that these aren't necessarily your problems. They are the problems that you have taken on from people around you, from people in your environment. It's a feeling of overwhelm, you know, absolutely, but you may not necessarily be the issue. You may not necessarily be the one that's causing all these problems. Now, I'm not taking sides or just absolving you of guilt. I always try to be very careful when it comes to, you know, placing blame here on the channel, because we all go through different experiences, and I just want to be responsible when it comes to the messages that I'm delivering. But what I'm trying to get to here is that sometimes what's expected of you is that you bear the burden, that you do the bulk of the work, that you do the majority of the heavy lifting because you can, or because you have the emotional capacity for it. And it sometimes gets forgotten that you are a complex individual that has feelings too, that has a perspective too. And it's important that you guys express that. Now, is the energy that you're dealing with a sinister one? I don't think so. It's more so the kind of energy where someone will continue to take advantage as long as you allow them to. The Hangman card coming out here, yes, letting us know that if you, Cancer, have been sacrificing yourself, sacrificing your perspective for the sake of the greater good, that is going to take a toll on you, and is going to get progressively, that burden is going to get harder to bear, harder to carry. The longer that you keep it in, the longer that you hold it in. And I don't think that's how you want to spend your birthday season. And we get the Tower in the center of the reading. You might be scared. You might be worried that if you turn off the tap, that if you cut someone off, that it's going to do more harm than good. But in actuality, what it's going to do is give you some of your power back. It's going to give you some control back. And I think that you are holding on to something that is not working, holding on to something that is not good for you, holding on to something that is one-sided, and if you don't let go, you will be dragged. I feel like some of you just want to get out there, want to get out in the world. There's something that you want to do, a passion that you have, but it's like you feel restricted perhaps, or what you have right now, it's like because it has formed, it has met some very crucial needs that you have. It's a part of your foundation. So it's like hard for you to resolve yourself to leave it. It's hard for you to just pick up and start over in some cases, or just do something completely different if that's what you want to do, because you have gotten so used to what you have been doing. If this is work, if this is about work, you have gotten so comfortable to this particular position or this particular arrangement, even though it's one that is, it's like it's not worthy of you. And like there is, I get the sense that there is, you have like a greater purpose in life, like a really big vision or dream, or a dream that you want to accomplish, that you would actually be able to accomplish if only you would allow yourself to, or open yourself up to it. Some of you, I feel like, want to free yourself, want to break your chains. And I think that there is a growing desire to be more independent. You may want to pursue some entrepreneurial endeavors, just going to business for yourself. And I see here someone that has the means to, you know what I mean? And it's looking like it is something that is going to take time, and it will require, there are sacrifices that will have to be made in order for you to go down that path. That's definitely a certainty, but here it looks like it's something that will be worth it. We are going to talk about these cards a bit more. There's a lot more here that I want to go over with you before I let you guys go. Just a second. All right, guys, we're back. Here are your cards once again. Let's talk about these. So we start off with the World card, which is very, very positive as the overall energy for June. So no matter what you go through or how you may feel, it's important that we acknowledge that you will be okay. And when you're going through the most challenging times, it's important that you remember that you've been here before and that you will make it through in one piece. There are some pretty major decisions that you guys will have to make this month, and I think that your happiness depends on them. The first step in making those, I'm not even going to say making a good decision, I'll say in making a decision, let's start there, is that you actually acknowledge that something isn't working, that you actually acknowledge that something in fact does need to change. The status quo is tempting to uphold, especially if it kind of sort of works. But I think that you are getting tired of having to switch things around, having to do all that you can in order to make a situation work or get it to a certain point that it is tolerable. So June gives you an opportunity to shake things up a bit if you will allow it to. And that does require that you fight the urge to fix everything and allow some things to break. And I know that that sounds crazy, but if you're dealing with a dynamic where you are doing way more than you should, and everyone else around you is benefiting from your hard work, and you're not seeing a lot of the payoff, it's up to you to determine just how much is enough, and it's up to you to determine when the time is here to change some things. Objectively, I know I said I didn't want to take sides in the first part, but objectively, there is something here that you are right about. If you feel that you've been wronged, you have been. Now, what do we do after coming to that conclusion? What do we do after you have believed your eyes about a certain situation? You take a step back and you let things unfold naturally, and then you stop overextending. You stop giving more of yourself to situations that are not worthy of you, giving the best parts of yourselves to things that you have outgrown. I do think that there may be some money concerns, and I think that they are temporary. Things change. I'd say maybe the second to the third week of the month. I'm noticing that in the collective, things start moving financially for a lot of the signs in June, towards the middle of the month. And I think that there's a desire that you have here in the form of a legacy that you would like to create for yourself, something that will undoubtedly take time. And if you already feel like you are short on that, then it's up to you to make time for the things that you care about. No one's going to be able to pursue your goals for you. Or I was just telling Leo this, if you want something done right, sometimes you will just have to do it yourself. Support and validation from others is not nearly as important as we think it is. This can be a very empowering time for you if you'd like it to be, in the way that you can be the one that does it for yourself. And I think that you want to be more independent around this time. I think that you guys are identifying with your strengths and what you can accomplish with them. If you are a member on Patreon, then you will have already had access to this reading, early access that is. All you have to do is join the Cancer tier if you'd like to join, and you'll get access to this reading, the monthly readings early, as well as the extended, which I'm going to do right now. Also on Patreon, that's where we're going to be doing the merch, and you'll also find guided meditations on there and all other cool embodied extras. If you'd like a personal reading, my email will be in the description box. Thanks so much for being here, guys. It's always a pleasure. If I don't see you in the extended, I'll see you next time.